Well, hello there. Here we are in the sort of the middle of the beginning of fall, and makes me feel like a Beaujolais in these times. We're getting close to the Beaujolais Nouveau period, but even without outside of Beaujolais Nouveau, you got all these wonderful crus, and so today we are having a Morgon by Marcel Lapierre. And this is his flagship wine. This is his, not necessarily his most expensive wine, but this is what he's known for. This is what the Lapierre family has been known for close to 100 years. You know, like in 1900, I think, the first forebear, Michel, started working in the wine business. Then his family started accumulating vineyards and making their own wine. And now they are really basically one of the premium, not necessarily premium, but one of the best known names in Beaujolais. And he was also, his descendants were really pioneers of natural winemaking in Beaujolais. They have there's four of them, I think. They call them the gang of four: Foillard, Breton, Thévenet, and Lapierre. And their methods have been actually copied in other places, whether it's in Burgundy, in the Northern Rhone, some of the adjacent areas, because they've just really been able to produce really beautiful wine out of their vineyards. So this is a Morgon, so it's one of the 10 crus. That and the Moulin à Vent are my two favorite crus really from Beaujolais, because they tend to be more meaty, more complex, a little bit less light than some of the others, although the others are very good too, like Fleury or Brouilly or Côte de Brouilly. But these are near and dear to my heart. And Morgon is also in some volcanic rocks, gives it some additional complexity. Now, these guys make wine in a very, very natural, biodynamic way. They don't use any herbicides, they don't use any pesticides, and they no fining, no filtering, whole cluster. They even almost harvest the wine like cluster by cluster almost, because some of them may be ready, some of them may not be ready. So they're really very focused on that. And it's sort of one of those combinations of very, very natural winemaking, in terms of the whole planting and growing the wine, but very, very focused on detail in the winemaking itself, and scientific in that way. Like they're really focusing almost on every grape. And they think that really contributes to the quality of the wine. They do carbonic maceration, which is really the Beaujolais style. So, for days in a whole cluster. And this is where the wine takes its color. And then they do the usual vinification afterwards. They check on the fermentation like several times a day, so with microscopes. So, this is, again, the other extreme of the science in terms of really making sure the wines are bottled and sort of moved into barrels first, at the right time. So it's really quite a process that just honors what's best about what they have to work with. 2019 was a great year all over France, so not much to say about that. A little bit less wet than 2018. That 2018 created some mildew problems in some areas, but 2018 was just perfect. You look at the color, you've got that sort of beautiful light, sort of cherry, maybe raspberry even color. It's not super clear because it's unfined, unfiltered, as we said. The French, I think, bottles don't have any sulfite added. The ones they send abroad on long trips, they just add a little bit of sulfites. On the nose, it's really, again, a little bit floral, a little bit of that raspberry. But it's just it's a little bit of acidity. It really cuts through. You get this feeling that it just goes straight through. It's not, I don't know how to describe that. It's just still after, it's been a few days, it's just still really perfect. Great acidity, Nice finish. Finish is actually almost a little bit gamey, but there's also a layer of licorice, you know, on top as well. It's kind of an interesting, and the Morgon can sometimes develop that, and specifically there, the Lapierre vineyards. It's just really fresh. Almost chewy because of the matter that still has in it from a lack of filtering, and also they choose smaller, I think, barrels to have you know, less surface at the bottom where things can settle, if you believe that. So anyway, every detail seems to be really studied. This is just a great cru. It's not one of the cheapest Beaujolais, but I think, again, with everything else, this is one, not necessarily always, but here in this case, you are getting what you pay for, and it's well worth seeking out. And this is a wine that can actually probably sit in a cellar for another 5 to 8 years. Cheers, and we'll see you again very soon.